up? What up? So we back with the Stay Packin' second episode, man. We about to get it started. Steven, what's up with it, man?
What's going on? Thank you for everybody joining out of a sunny but chilly Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ready to talk some Packers.
Yes, sir. Shotty Daddy, what's up with it, man?
Man, what's up, bro? In sunny California, sunny LA. Ready to talk some Packers. Been irritated well, especially this morning after Gudikins spoke. So yeah.
Yeah, man. So we about to get into it. So first thing we gonna talk about last week. All right, man. Steven, talk about the game, man. We gonna recap it for.
Well, I'm sure as everybody heard last week, we're kind of eating our words on this one. This was a bad game. To me, this kind of
Mhm.
solidified we'll take any win we get for the rest of the season. We're in that rebuilding.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know there's been talk in the past that we don't know if we're going to be in the rebuild or what's going to happen. This solidified everything for me in that. We look terrible at home. And the defense had some shining moments a little bit, but our offense it needs to start clicking, man. We have yet in 5 games to get a touchdown in the first quarter. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Shaw, what you think? What you got to say about the game
Man,
against the
I
Saints?
echo Steven, man. I echo Steven. We've been it's been tough to watch, man. First half of these games, ever since Atlanta, it's been very tough to watch a four-quarter game with the Packers, and a lot of it's a lot of the Jordan Love haters and the people who want him out. They're blaming it all on him, but man, it's not just him, it's everybody. You know what I'm saying? He's had up and down games, he's had up and down moments, but which was expected for a first year starter, but he hasn't gotten any help whatsoever in this situation. His receivers are terrible, his offensive line is terrible, his play caller Matt LaFleur is terrible. Like it's just he's gotten no breaks. So it's tough to watch. The defense, obviously, we know that's been terrible for a while now. And yeah, I'm with Steven. You get any kind of win you can get now at this point. Who knows? We might not win another game this season. Who knows? But right now, it's looking it's doom and gloom right now in Green Bay.
Yeah, man. I said before, I thought we was gonna win this game too, but it's just something about that first half, man. We can't get nothing clicking. As you see, we only can score. We scored what 3 in the first half. Nothing in the like. I just don't understand how they can't put something together. And I was listening to a podcast. It's like it's a struggle for them to even get 10 yards most of the down. I mean series. Like they have a hard time getting 10 yards to keep the chains moving. So I mean, like yesterday, Rashad Douglas got traded to Buffalo. How
Yep.
do y'all how do y'all feel about Rashad getting traded? Rashad.
Oh, I mean, it's bittersweet, but Rasul was a find that Gutekunst got in free agency. It seems like when he brings certain free agents in, for the most part, outside of Sammy Watkins, we know that didn't work out. Outside of Sammy, it seems like when he brings free agents in, it's for a reason, and they make a huge impact. And Rasul was one of them who made an incredible impact. It sucks we couldn't cap that season off with a Super Bowl, another playoff blunder, another letdown game in the playoffs. Whether it was Rodgers not showing up once again, or the defense not showing up again, or coaches not showing up, whatever it is, people can put blame wherever they want to put blame on. The fact is, we didn't finish with a number one seed that year. With a championship, and I was at that game in Arizona. I was at that game. I actually came. I actually small nugget. I actually came out on TV. People was sending me screenshots like Rashad, you look pissed. You look pissed off. So that was a hell of a game to be at. But yeah, man, Rasul had a hell of a career. His short stint in Green Bay was a great career in Green Bay, and he made a hell of an impact, and he changed a lot of people's lives. I'm sure with those 2 years he was in Green Bay, especially that year in 2021. So I mean, it's bittersweet, but I understand the move. He's a veteran. He doesn't probably have that many years left. We get a third round pick for him, which is a great value for his age. And hey, man, I understand the moves. This team we have is not going to the playoffs, possibly not winning a Super Bowl no time soon. So I get it.
Yeah, I know. And they said he's like what 29. So I mean,
Yeah,
he got a couple more years left on his contract. So he
right.
probably wasn't going to renew his contract. So it's like try to
No,
get something for him now before his
right,
contract expires and we don't get anything for him. He's having a cool year. One of the I know some of the things other people were saying that his presence in the locker room is definitely going to be missed.
for
His
sure.
attitude on defense, keeping people in check. Like if Nixon did something wrong or somebody did something wrong in the secondary or on defense, period, he was quick to get in their face and check
Right,
them. You know what I mean? So we definitely gonna miss that leadership on the field. Um, and in the locker room, he was just one of those guys that you knew that was gonna come every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. He was gonna bring it. And
right,
yeah, he's definitely gonna be missed. I'll be seeing some Buffalo fans that asked me about him, but then when I was watching some things on YouTube in the comments, Buffalo fans was like, man, the way y'all talk about him, y'all really they're really happy that they got him. And I was like, yeah, like
oh,
he's one of
hmm,
those players that you want in the locker room, you want on the field because he gonna give it his all. So um
facts.
so the fact that we got a third round pick for him. Oh yeah, so here we go, Steven. Steven, what you think about this trade, man?
Yeah, sorry, I was having some camera issues. I hope you guys can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I for what we got for him, it was actually great. You look at some of the trades that were. I actually expected more players to be traded because we're kind of starting over on that, and that's what I think one of the best things that ever happened was we re-signed Rashawn Gary. That's awesome. We were able to hang on to him, and but the Rasul Douglas trade, it's kind of like Rashad said. We kind of picked him up. He's been great in some games, and then some games, like any other corner, I mean, he had his downfalls, but he's been awesome for us. He's a big corner. I really liked when he would guard the tight ends and stuff like that because he was such a big corner. He could do that. It was nice to have that there. But yeah, he was awesome. But I think the downfall is that we lose that leadership. We lose that veteran leader in the locker room. Somebody I was reading somewhere today that after the loss, everybody was kind of going by his locker and patting him on the shoulder and stuff. So I think he was kind of frustrated. He wanted to win, and now he's going to a team that can win. And for a third round pick, though, that's a
Hmm.
good draft pick for him. It really
Yeah,
is because you look at Young out of the Commanders who went to the 49ers for a third round pick, which to me is crazy. But so
right.
yeah, so I'm okay with it. It's one of those that we loved him here in Green Bay, and we'll love to continue to watch him play for the Bills.
Yeah, man. So speaking on that third round pick, people been criticizing Gutekunst's his draft choices, and I looked into it. I was like, all right, we could talk about his draft. So we're gonna look at three of his draft classes, and we could go from there. Hey, Donovan, I saw you, yo. I'm gonna hit you back. Hey, McDaniels is fired. Yeah, I know you happy about that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we might be right after you. Packers might be making some moves too. So all right, so this is one of Goodekin's. I forgot what year. This is Jordan Love's year. So we just go down some of these players that he's drafted and see why people are complaining, see if they have a legit reason why they're complaining about his draft pick. So as you see, Jordan Love was in the first, Dylan, DeGara, Martin, Runyon, Jake Hansen, and some of these other guys not even on the team. So what you got to say about this draft class? Rashad and Steven.
I mean, for me, the biggest question mark is Jordan Love. Now, obviously, we're what 7, 8 games in. We'll see what happens the last 2 games, last 10 games. If he takes that next step, then to me, I don't really care about this draft class because now you got a future franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing with this draft class. But outside of that, Dylan, obviously Dylan has panned out. Runyon is panned out. He's a starter, but for the most part, you whiffed on like 7 guys, which is not good. So the draft is the ultimate crapshoot. It's not exact science. Everybody, GMs get this thing wrong every year. So I mean, unfortunately, that's a reality. So to me, this draft class hinges on the first pick, which is Jordan Love. If he pans out, and they extend him, he's the future. Then I could care less because we got our guy. But if he's not, then yeah, this is terrible. This is a terrible draft class. So we'll see.
Steven, what you got to say about this draft class?
See, I don't think this draft class was as bad as I look at it. You know, you think of a draft class and how many guys really don't start in those rounds, right? Like how many guys you watch other
Right.
teams draft guys all day long and they don't get any real big besides their maybe third. I mean, it's very rare that guys pan out. Like Rashad said, it is a crapshoot on it. But if you look at it, I mean, we got AJ Dillon, which at the time was awesome for us, and he's been awesome for us up
Mhm.
until this year. Kind of slowing down last year, but this year not good. But I mean, we got 3, I would say solid years for him. Degora, he was that kind of that sneaky tight end on the side that we used every now and again, and when we did, like sometimes he did great, and other times he didn't. I mean, he was also. We also had Mercedes Lewis, and I mean it. I think this one, and then you look at John Runyon. He's our starting, tackle. Which, man, that one, he's had his moments as well.
Mhm.
Like last game, if you watch, he wasn't getting his blocks right. He went, the wrong way, running into Tom on one of the plays. Like it really shows. But I don't see this draft class being too bad. Now the Jordan Love pick. This was a year we were supposed to make a kind of a Super Bowl push, right? But it's hard because what quarterback class out of that year has ever been anything better than that? I'd have to look into it more, but I don't think it was as good as this year. I mean, wasn't Jalen Hurts drafted after Jordan Love? But you kind of think of
Yeah, that
stuff like
second
that.
round.
Yeah, second round. And I don't know if we took Jordan Love a little early, but then there was a lot of talk like he was supposed to be one of the, like, I know we've talked about Rashad where you've told me like he was looked at being picked one of the first picks, like in that area. And
Right.
so
Top 10, yeah.
so yeah, so I don't know. It's like Rashad says, if Love pans out, which I think he will. I mean, we haven't. You look at, and that's what I hear a lot of people be like, "Oh, we could have taken Jalen Hurts." Well, yeah, but
Right.
Jalen Hurts had a team built around him. Love doesn't have
Right.
that. You know what I mean? And so I don't. But yeah, and Love's doing everything he can. You watch the guy. This game wasn't his fault. He had receivers dropping the ball left and right. He had no line, so he's not sure if he's going to run it. This is first year. I mean, he's got the wheels to go, but he's like, well, do I run it? Do I throw it? Man, it would be hard to be in Love's position right now, especially with the pressure bearing on that. So I don't
Man.
think Love was a bad pick. I think Love's going to turn out and he's going to be awesome once we can get a team around Love.
What up, X Boogie?
But I really don't think this draft pick was
Up,
that
hey.
bad. A few of them turned out.
Mhm.
So
Well, from when I was in Packer groups, and this is why I want to bring it this one, and it's 2 more draft classes. They said after this year, other than Jordan Love and Ryan, they all could be going off the team. AJ might not be back. DeGar might not be back, and I don't think that even the other guys even are on the team anymore. So that's why they was like, out of this, only one could really be on the team after this year if they keep running, which
Right.
is Jordan Love. The next draft class is this one. So they was complaining about this one. Stokes always heard Josh Myers didn't pan out. Then Amari Rodgers, we all know how that was bad. Then the Royce Newman, and then you got Slayton, and then you got the rest of them. McDuffie is still on the team, but people have been calling Goop, you know what I mean, calling him out about his poor draft pick. So other than Stokes, you know what I mean, like who do y'all see in this draft class right here, which was after Love's? What do you guys got to say about his draft class on this one? I think it was what 2021.
I mean, Myers is a starter who's terrible. I don't like him at all, but he's a starter. Eric Stokes is obviously hurt, but hopefully he will have some fortune soon with his injuries. Royce Newman's terrible. T.J. Slayton, I love that pick. Gene Charles, don't like that pick. He was tiny anyway. See, but I always try to tell people, anytime you get after the third round, you're just throwing flyers at guys. People got to understand that this isn't Madden, bro. I'm sorry. We live in such a Madden
Exactly.
fantasy football complex. That's not real football. I'm sorry. Does it? It's not reality. It's not how it works. So I try
Exactly.
to tell people anytime after the third round, for the most part, you're just taking a flyer on a guy because people from the fourth round on down, that is the biggest that is the biggest crapshoot ever. It's already a crapshoot the draft is, but after the third round, it's a for sure crapshoot. So you're just hoping guys pan out. You're literally hoping guys work out, and most of the guys that are after the third round are for the most part going to be special team core guys. That's all they're going to be. So to me, again, now the Amari Rodgers pick that was horrible. I like the McDuffie again. McDuffie at sixth round. That's a special teams guy. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys after the fourth round, you're just hoping and praying. T.J. Slayton, fifth round. He's a starter. He worked out. That's great. But dude, nobody bats 1,000 and each and every draft. So again, look, I like the Stokes pick when healthy. Myers, I hate that pick. I'll say that now. That was horrible. But and Amari Rogers, that didn't pan out. So if you look at it, the last 2 years, a couple years, he's missed on a lot of picks, as well as other GMs have too. So
What you got to say about this draft class, Steven?
Yeah, yeah, this one does not look good. I,
at
it's
all,
I'm looking at, but you got to think it's exactly what Roger or Rashad said on this is like it is a crapshoot after that because you think of guys that turn out, they're hidden gems. They call them that for a reason because
right?
they don't come along often. You look at any team's draft class. I mean, not all of them are really hitting. These teams aren't like they're not awesome because of their draft class. They're awesome because of what they do in free agency and who they bring in and players that they know who are good, which the Packers really don't do a lot. And what I see, Eric Stokes, I think can be great. I think he's awesome, but the problem is he's always injured, and so that's one of those picks that when he's
Yeah.
there, he's good, but then when he's injured, what's
They calling him the Kevin King 2.0, man. That's what I
yeah,
got.
dude. Well, that one was a rough one, but I hated that draft because we could have got T.J. Watt, and instead we traded back and
hmm
got King. Which that's a different story.
But
But
yeah, and
yeah,
we needed a corner though. We needed a corner
we
that year too,
did, but
though. But
man, if he could have,
If he
T.J.
would have
Watt
stayed
sitting there,
healthy, man,
like,
it would have
come
been
on,
crazy.
Elvis
Yeah, I'm
Thompson,
to this
hometown
day,
boy.
I love me some TJ Watt, man.
I know,
But
and he's a hometown boy. Like,
I still
yeah,
like yeah, that draft was crazy, man.
yeah, that draft was. But I mean, Kevin King was really good though. But that's the problem with
His
this.
injuries.
Yeah, but these guys in college, he was, and that's the crazy part is it's like these guys were really good in college, right? So you look at Amari Rogers. I thought he would be awesome, Clemson
Dude.
kid. I think
Yeah.
he played with um, Trevor Lawrence, I believe, at the time,
hmm
and he
yep.
was awesome. He looked like a stud. And then everybody was excited that we got him where we got him, and then he just didn't pan out, which happens
Man.
all the time. Look at the quarterbacks people draft that don't pan out. Mitch Trubisky, come on, dude. You know what I mean? So they don't know for real. It's Josh Myers. I never did like that pick either. I did not like that pick as well. And Slayton, yeah, Slayton's been, I like that. He's been good, but yeah, the rest, it's man, this draft does look pretty rough though.
Yeah, hey. Y'all took the words out of my mouth. This draft is, other than Stokes, man, we still hoping for Stokes. So that's the only bright. No, I mean, and then Slayton, but Stokes, we definitely need him now since we got rid of Douglas. So they banking on him to come back and perform, which
They are.
with Jair. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the last class is last
Right.
year. So then we could. So this, what about this one? This one is a little iffy. You know what I mean too. So. What you got on this one, Rashad?
I mean, right now, this draft class is looking like his best one. With Quay, with Wyatt, obviously Watson came on last year. He's up and down this year, always hurt. Dobbs is, he's up and down, but I like Dobbs' potential. Kiki, he hit on that for sure. Zach Tom is a future right tackle for the next 10 years. He's special. And then
Right.
outside of that, you got Carpenter, he's up and down. Ford, Rasheed Walker is not there yet. Toure is, I don't think he's there either. But yeah, right
I forgot
now,
about Toure.
yeah, Toure. I think this is his best class by far. This is his best class because Walker is legit, and I like Wyatt and Zach Tom is a future right. He's legit. Like, so yeah, this is probably his best class.
It just seems to me like, man, a lot of our top players that we draft, our just draft period, are super injury prone. Quay Walker is probably the only one, you know what I mean? And he's been hurt a couple times, and it's like, man, why do we? I don't know if it's our training staff or what, but Steven, what you got on this?
Yeah, I actually like this draft class. And here's why. We talked about in the past, guys, after the second and third round really panning out. You look at these names, these guys are panning out. I mean, Romeo Dobbs, awesome. Zach Tom, awesome. I like Ignabare. I really
Me
do.
too. Me too.
Jonathan Ford has been, he's been there, but I love Samari Toure. I do. I think if he can, he can make some catches when we need him to. I really like Toure, and I'm also kind of, he's a Montana boy too, so I kind of go down that route. But I do. I like Toure, and then you look at Quay Walker. He's been a good linebacker for us. He's been awesome. I enjoy him, and I've heard the hard one is Devontae Wyatt. I love him too, and I think he's going to be a stud. And I've heard so much things out of camp, and like how good he looks in training camp. He's going to be awesome this year, and then it's kind of like. You don't really see it in game. You know what I mean? You don't hear his name a whole lot. So I don't know. Maybe he's doing his job as a D lineman and keeping the holes plugged or whatever. I don't know. Our run defense is kind of crappy too. So who knows? But
our DC is terrible.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Because you look at this draft and as your DC, now you can see, oh wow, so this really is on you then because we gave you everything you wanted. With 2 first-round defensive picks out of, Georgia, and you're still gonna everybody else's has panned out. Why, you know what I mean? So it really is on our DC. But I love the wide receiver picks in this. I think whoever did the scouting on the wide receivers did awesome. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Samari Toure. That's an awesome draft class. I really enjoy that one. Now we'll see, a couple years down. And like you said, the injuries for Christian Watson and, even Dobbs last year a little bit. But see, Dobbs came back and he hasn't really, shown any injuries since. But Christian Watson, man, that dude's got to get healthy or something. And that's what drives me insane is you see these off seasons and they look awesome in training camp. And then these off seasons, they're training really, really hard, and it's got to be so frustrating for him and these guys that get hurt. But and then he comes into the games and then he's out 4 games. And it's like, well, what'd you do different? Are you not, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the injuries in the Packers. It's always been something.
All right, we got a comment. He says, I disagree on Walker. I've seen him make so many mistakes this year. And then he also said, is our run defense bad because of defensive scheming or bad individual effort? What you got to say about that, Steven?
So I think our run defense is bad because of I would say it's the scheming, but it's also, man, are these guys really playing as hard as they want for Joe Barry? Because
right.
You
it's
think
like
lost the locker room?
You have a boss and you hate your boss.
are you really going to work your ass off for him for what?
No.
Keep him around? You know what I mean? Like, so are you really putting in 100% effort? Maybe these guys are, but I think it's bad. I think it's both. I think there's sometimes where when you're down 24-10, you're like, man, dude, what are we doing? And like, there was something that came out. I don't know if I think I read somewhere that the defensive coordinator, Joe Barry doesn't do anything in like practice to change anything. He says, this is our scheme. And then he'll come in at halftime and say, well, we're just going to change around this, and this. So he's not even, I mean, how are you supposed to do that? So I think it is. And I think it's the practicing they do.
Yeah,
Right.
What you got to say?
Mm-hmm. I agree with Steven. Like, to me, it's the scheme. You know what I'm saying? I do. I always equate this shit to real life. Like, because this is real life. You go into work. Are you going to go into work and you hate your boss? Are you going to go into work and really put in your best effort because you hate your boss? No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're getting a paycheck. You're just there for the paycheck, right? Okay. Until you find another job, right? Okay. So what do you think these players are doing? You know what I'm saying? They're going to work and they're just there for their paycheck and they're doing what they need to do until they find until hopefully we find a better DC. So again, I think it's more so scheme than anything. And to me, when you have when you have a good defensive coordinator, he breeds a certain attitude in guys because they believe in the scheme. They want to play for the guy. They don't want to do that with Joe Barry. Joe Barry should have been fired yesterday. Okay, so I mean, I mean, and Matt LaFleur might want to go with him too because I don't believe in the offensive schemes as well. They've been terrible these last few years also. So and I'm a huge Matt LaFleur guy, but as of late, dude, you're starting to see the covers come off of him as a head coach as well. So I mean, yeah, I totally agree with Steven.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, well, I just got a text about it. I know Rashad is pretty upset about it. Jake just texted us Rashad about the situation, so we might as well talk about what Goot said earlier today. So, I know you probably definitely want to talk about it, Rashad. So, have at it, my man.
Man, I've been going back and forth with guys in the group and in the chat, bro. My thing is, I understand where Goose coming from, but at the same time, bro, who the fuck does Love have to throw to? I'll wait. You haven't set this kid up with nothing, bro, nothing. So you basically just saying go out there and just do whatever with a horrible offensive line. Our offensive line is terrible. Our receivers terrible. They're young. Okay. Not only that, the biggest play caller, the biggest guy, biggest elephant in the room is Matt LaFleur. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. He hasn't helped out his young quarterback whatsoever. So you're asking a guy, and not only that, he doesn't have a run game, a legit run game. So you're asking a guy to do what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, in my opinion, Rodgers didn't have issue. You know what I'm saying?
Rashad. He always said he said Rodgers didn't need weapons. Rodgers had weapons. What did he do with Devontae? What did he do with Jennings? You know what I'm saying? Like, he won the Super Bowl back in 2009.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he had weapons.
Right.
He's an MVP.
He had
how do you win MVP and not have weapons? You know what I mean? Like, Jake, come on, man. You're a Raiders fan.
Like, you're a Raiders fan. Right. Like, dude. Not only that, Rodgers came into a veteran situation. People forget that. It's funny how people, like I said, we live in a microwave society. People forget. Like, they just forget. Rodgers came into a team that was literally in an NFC championship the year before. He came in with a better offensive line. He came in with 2 receivers in Jennings and Driver. He had a young James Jones and a young Jordy Nelson. What does Love have? Does Love and he had Ryan Grant and Jackson at running back. Ryan Grant ran over 1,000 yards the year before. They were all in the NFC Championship legit the year before when Favre threw that pick to I forget that corner's name from the Giants. The Giants kicked the field goal. They go to the Super Bowl. Okay, so the same team Rodgers came in with. Love didn't come in with that situation at all. He came in with dudes that haven't even played a full season. Watson hasn't played a full season. Dobbs hasn't played a full season. Nobody has.
Who's panicking though,
To
Jake? Nobody's
what?
panicking.
And our left tackle, you guys who we were so on hasn't
Rashad,
played in 3 years.
He was going in and out.
He hasn't played a full season in 3 years. So I don't know.
All
That's
right,
just me.
Jake. You said we took Love over legit receivers. Okay, Rodgers is not here now. Where's Rodgers at right now? Tell me, please. He got hurt because of a bad offensive line in the Jets, right? We have a bad offensive line. What did Rodgers do last year when he had weapons? We ain't panicking. We were saying, what did Rodgers do last year? Nothing, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you just be talking crazy because you're a Raiders fan. You got a great receiver in Devontae Adams. You see how great he is. Rodgers had him for what, 5, 6, 7 years and still couldn't win with him. Hey, it's not because he didn't have weapons.
No, Rodgers had plenty of weapons, and if he was gonna bitch about how many weapons he had, why did he take him with him to the Jets? You know what I mean? And he had weapons.
Exactly.
Rodgers had Aaron Jones, he had AJ Dillon, he had Devontae Adams, he had a good tight end, he had a good O-line, and we always thought the problem was our defense, which, in games was at times because Rodgers was coming back. The hard part, with all this is it's one of those that, we didn't surround Love. I feel like Love, if we ever got rid of Love is going to be one of those quarterbacks that teams are going to be clawing to get him. When they get him, he's going to be really good. And that's going to be the hard part, is because Love doesn't – it's amazing what Love does already with what he has and what's going on and what's happening. It's actually kind of crazy to watch because he can be – I think he can be great. I think he will be. I think it's going to take a year for him. We kind of knew going into this season what to expect. We have the youngest team in the NFL. We've got, we go back to that draft class, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, all those guys, they're going to become good too. It's going to take a little bit. And I really do believe at this point, it's the coaching. And look at our coaching. Can we, the only issue that I see with Love that I think I've kind of seen with some news, because this year has been crazy with rookie quarterbacks, and kind of what I've seen from them as well is that long ball. You know what I mean? Throwing that long ball and getting it tuned in to where you can hit his receiver. Love has been terrible about that. And he either overthrows them or it's, if you look at the other stuff, but I think Love will be okay. I think this team's going to be okay. It's just, we're going to take those lumps. You know what I mean? Like it's going to happen. We are the new low, and everybody's going to jump the bandwagon to bash the Packers because we have been so good for so long that this is their chance to really talk shit and
them Cowboys
and take us out. And so it's like, well, whatever, like we'll be back. Like that's one thing about Green Bay. They're not going to stay like that forever. And I think honestly, we're opening up so much free salary cap space right now is because they're kind of getting guys set into place, and then they're going to go get guys, and then it'll be a different story.
I hope so. Yeah, but I agree that these next 10 games is important, but it's not just important for Jordan Love, it's important for everybody on that team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the coaching staff. For Joe Barry, to me, the writing's on the wall for Joe Barry. I think hey, it don't matter what, if he could go undefeated, I think he still should go. But I think he said Amon Green is not walking through that door. I wish he was though. Yeah, man, like the next 10 games is important for the whole team to me, not on Jordan Love. But is this something that he said to spark something under Jordan Love? Probably, but I don't think Jordan Love needs that. You know what I mean? So, it's a business, but I still think we don't draft. Even if we have a top 5 pick, we're not going to draft a quarterback. Neither is Dorsey Levens. Nah, Dorsey the Horse, that's my favorite Green Bay running back, though. So I still got to get a Dorsey Levens jersey. But, yeah, man, good. I don't know if he needed to say this. Like I said, did you have to say that? But he did. So Hey,
And he's talking about Love's future, very important next 10 games. I don't see it. I think it's more important the next 10 games for LaFleur and Joe Barry, which Joe Barry we know is
coaching
gone.
staff.
Like, I mean, he's going to be out of there, and we're getting rid of guys next year for sure. But I don't know why he would say that, because I mean, it's still a rookie quarterback. You're still watching him. Like, he doesn't have the team built around him like Jalen Hurts had. I don't think Jalen Hurts would be Jalen Hurts if he didn't have that team around him.
Oh my God! At all. At all.
I think, exactly. And but even Brock Purdy, obviously, now we're starting to see the signs of that. Would you get rid of him? I mean, look, you know what I mean? Look at that. He's got a massive team built around him, so he looked amazing. That's just what it is. That's where we're going in that era. That's where it at. Build the team around it's not just the quarterback anymore. It's build the team around the quarterback. Right. And then that way you get a decent quarterback that can make throws. Jordan Love in the 49ers would look amazing. He would be an MVP. Mm-hmm. Like, it's ridiculous, So I don't know. I don't think the next 10 games is very important for him. I think it's more important for LaFleur and that defense.
Well, I just think that his numbers would be a lot better if people caught the ball. Obviously, Jordan Love has made some bad throws, but
for sure,
it's been a lot, because Rodgers got that excuse last year. Oh, the receiver's dropping balls. He'll be a lot better. We'll be a lot better if they just catch the ball. So, okay, it's the same thing. These are the same guys that was hurt last year that's playing this year, that some of them are still hurt. And people are saying they don't even know if Watson is still fully healthy, but he's out there. That's why they're not running him like they was running him last year, making him run routes like he was last year. But either way, he's out there. He needs to produce more. He needs to go out there and catch the ball. That's what you pay to do as a receiver. Catch the ball. That's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Running up the catch is cool, but at least just catch the ball first. You know what I mean? Be more aggressive. So, yeah, good. Like I said, was it something to spark something under Jordan Love? Like I said, to me, Jordan Love don't need that spark. It could have been kept in-house. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think that they're going to draft a quarterback. So, since we're talking about that too, talking about Jordan Love, I'm gonna ask you guys, make it make sense about taking for Caleb. What do y'all think about fans saying that? It could be Caleb. It could be just a rookie quarterback, period. So a lot of fans are trying to say take for Caleb.
Terrible, because what situation are they coming into? The same shit. So if you do that, say we draft a quarterback, right? So if you do that, you legit reset everything. So at that point, if you draft a quarterback, Matt LaFleur got to go then. Matt LaFleur, his entire staff, they go, and you hire a new staff. And honestly, at that point too, Gutekunst, you might want to look in the mirror, because you might want to have to go too. Because at that point, if you draft a brand new quarterback, new regime, we need to get rid of you, Goo, and we need to get rid of this entire coaching staff. So at that point, that's what you got to do, because he's coming into the same exact situation. Horrible play calling, horrible offensive line, horrible wide receiver, horrible weapons, horrible defense. The same shit. What is a brand new quarterback going to do? It's going to be the same exact thing. And you're going to make him look terrible too, because guess who's coaching him? Matt LaFleur. Guess who's calling the plays? Matt LaFleur. Guess who's running the operation? Matt LaFleur. So to me, having another quarterback in here makes no sense. I swear, like, some of these fans, I really feel like a lot of these fans came in when Rodgers just got hot, because they weren't there when Rodgers was struggling. People forget the year we won the Super Bowl, we were on the verge of missing the playoffs. Could you imagine missing the playoffs for a third year? Because we missed the playoffs Rodgers' first year. We made it to the wild card. We lost to Arizona. We were on the verge to miss the playoffs again. People were calling for Rodgers' head. They were calling for his head. All these Rodgers fanboys and stands, forget that. They were calling for his head because he was nowhere near Brett Favre. And I was one of them because I was a Favre fanboy. I didn't know nothing else but Favre. But what happened? We let it play out, didn't we?
Yep.
Yes. And we won a fucking Super Bowl, right? Man, some of these fans, man, success doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. It takes time. And people who think success happens overnight, bro, you suck at life. I'll say it again. People who think success happens overnight, you suck at life. In your personal life, you suck.
Dang.
So again, bro, I have so much patience because that's what life is about. Patience, especially if you want to be successful at anything, you have to have patience. And I have a ton. So I'm a ride with love. I'm a ride with this franchise till the wheels fall off. I've been here since 1995. I've been a fan since I was a kid. I'm
Hey.
gonna ride this thing out.
Same
So
year I
that's just
became a
my
fan.
Hey, that's just my 2 cents on it all. Whether love is the guy or not, y'all, I'm gonna ride this thing out. So it is
Absolutely.
what it is.
Hey,
Yeah, it
Rogers.
is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. He said we Dallas owns Favre. I mean, Rogers owns the Cowboys. So go ahead.
Yeah. Czar just throwing fire into the pot at this point, man.
Yeah.
But I agree with Czar though. I think we have a sneaky good quarterback in Sean Clifford. And here's why. Now, I'm not discounting Love. I don't think Love's gotten the shot that he deserves at all.
Czar's a
But
Penn State fan.
tanking for, and this is the way I see it, tanking for a quarterback like Caleb Williams, it's exactly what Rashad said. Why would we tank for a quarterback to go in the same system, do the same thing? It's ridiculous. Like, you can't do that. It's, but I think, it gives me chills talking about this actually. I went to every home preseason game and I watched Sean Clifford play. And I know it's preseason, and I am one that usually bites the preseason bullet in a lot of things. But when the offense was kind of sputtering and they put Sean Clifford in, that dude lit it up. Like, he is one of those, he reminds me of Favre. And the fact that he will bomb that football, and if it gets intercepted, he does not give a shit. He will be back out there throwing it again. Like, to get, just like how Favre was. He looked a lot like Favre playing. And like I said, I'm not discounting, but that's to the point of I don't think we should tank for a quarterback because I heard that too. Should we trade up for? It was Caleb Williams and the quarterback out of North Carolina. I can't remember his name, but they were asking, would one of those
Drake
be
May.
Yeah, and it's like no, not at all. Like that's not what we're doing here. I think they go out and do what the Lions did and go get like some stud defensive player or some stud. Maybe we do get a great wide receiver out there or somebody that's going to be awesome early, because how many times have the Packers even got to draft early lately? It's been years since the Packers
AJ Hawk.
Yeah, and it's been years since the Packers have really gotten this opportunity to draft really low. So we're in a rebuild year. This is going to see I agree. I want to see Sean Clifford as well out there because it's hard because I don't want to take anything from Love, but I think he's going to surprise people. That's my take on that. But tanking for a quarterback, hell no, dude. That's stupid. We're not going to do that.
You're gonna be the Levis. But yeah, I don't think it makes sense. So we can't make it make sense because it doesn't make sense. Tanking for Caleb. Hey, Rodgers couldn't do it with this team. Jordan Love is struggling with this team. So why do you think a brand new rookie is gonna do something for this team?
Because,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't think the pressure's on him like it is Love. I think he's going in like Love did behind Rodgers, in the fact of what do you have to lose? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? You're seeing what it is. You're a backup quarterback, but he seems so like I feel like Love is so freaking nervous and so worried about everything kind of going on. And maybe he's not, but I just by the look on his face when he goes in, he looks scared. You know what I mean? And maybe that's his look. Maybe that's just his look. But what's the difference in some putting Clifford in and see what the hell he could do, on a couple of these games where I don't know, just to see what happens and see where we're kind of at. But you look at like the Raiders, and I believe his name's O'Connell, right? The backup quarterback behind Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And what happened with him? You know what I mean? He came out and he looks great when he plays. I think honestly, I do want to see Clifford gets a regular season play a little bit, just to see what it was because he has nothing to lose. And it's like when Jordan Love came in for Rodgers, he had nothing to lose. If they would have kept Jordan Love in after that Eagles game, I think we're looking at a whole new story. I think it's a whole new quarterback because that confidence is up in the air, and he did awesome. And I don't know, it's hard to say because he rocked the Bears in that game too. And what happened to the team that beat the Bears? That's my question. Where is that fire? Where's that team at? Like I have yet to see it yet, and that's a hard part is because I love Love. I think he's awesome, but he acts. It is so tough. It's frustrating.
I think the Bears game, everybody was healthy that game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's where it started to go downhill because Jones got hurt, and then it just went downhill after that. Everybody, we got hurt. We got a starter hurt every game after that, and it's like, man. But they said, well, I forgot his name is Andrew something. I was listening to his podcast. He said the best case scenario for Sean Clifford to step on the field is in week 18. If the season is if Love looks banged up or whatever, that they might throw Clifford out there in the last game of the season just to see what they could get out of him. And so I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that that's not the case because to me, if that's the case, man, it's not looking good for Love. Hopefully, we just show some improvement.
And maybe Love needs. See, I'm not panicking this year. I think the time to panic is next year. I think if we look the same next year and we just
exactly
look like trash, I think that's panic moment. I think that's maybe we are going into this rut. But I think this year there's a lot of kinks they got to work out. It's a new quarterback. I think, as much as I do want to see Clifford, because I really do, I think the last game of the season, if this team is doing what it's doing even then, or maybe even like a few games before that, games that just doesn't matter, throw him in there, see what he does. And if he doesn't do good, he doesn't do good. You know what I mean? And then we know what we have. It's the same exact thing when we had Rodgers. Throw Love in for a few games, see what we have. You know what I mean? If he doesn't got it, he doesn't got it. We'll figure it out. But I guess you can't tell in 4 games, so maybe that's not the smartest move. But I don't know. It's really hard. And I think, we're not panicking, but there's a little bit inside us because we've been, like Rashad said, you have to have patience. And we have been so blessed to have 2 amazing quarterbacks in how many years that when we see a crappy quarterback or we feel like the quarterback's not doing good, we lose our shit. And that's over. Look at Rodgers last year. We lost it, and we're like, and there, you know what I mean? It was
right.
So I don't know. It's a very crazy time. That's what it is.
All right. So when last,
but y'all, real quick, but people don't remember when Rodgers was shitty his first 3 years. They don't remember that. They don't want to seem to forget. They just don't remember that. When everybody, we drafted Brian Brom because we didn't think he was the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know what's crazy about that, Rashad? I remember after we won the Super Bowl, how many bandwagon fans were wearing Packers gear after that too?
On everything, bro. Because
I'm like, where the hell were you guys at through all those interceptions and NFC Championship losses and shit like that? I said it was amazing to see how many people jumped that bandwagon, and now those are the people that are losing their shit right now over everything.
And I'm so glad we are struggling because I want those same bandwagon fans, get your ass off. You can hop on the Jets bandwagon. You can hop on the Chiefs bandwagon. I don't give a fuck because I've been here since '95. So I ain't going nowhere. So to me, people forget that, man. People forget that, y'all. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into this week's game predictions, we had an over under that. So will the Packers win over or under 5 total games for this season? Rashad, what you got?
As of right now, what's looking like, I'm gonna go under.
Under. What you got, Steve? We got 2 right now. You think we can win?
I'm going over. I think, and here's why.
Over 5?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And here's why.
I love your face, Steven.
Yeah, I know. Last game, as terrible as it was, we still were down on the goal line twice. You know what I mean? I mean, we were there. We could have easily caught up to that Vikings team. Now, what we do from there, hell, I don't know. or can our defense hold? I don't know. It seems like the games we even start to get close and we hurt their quarterback. Or that's how we come back. But I think we're going over. I think there will be some changes, and I think that I believe in them. I think we're going to go over.
Over, because off the top of my head, I know Carolina is definitely a game that we probably can win. But other than that, we got to win. Since we got 2 games now, we got to win 4 more games.
I think we're beating the Rams tomorrow or Sunday. I think they're beating the Rams Sunday.
All right, so we got the Rams next, then Pittsburgh, then the Chargers, then Detroit, KC. Giants, to me, is winnable. Tampa Bay is winnable. Carolina's winnable. Minnesota's winnable. And Chicago. They're all winnable games, but I don't know because of everything, not just love. Love is not the problem to me at all. It's the coaching staff. We got to find a way. We got to find a way to score a touchdown in the first half. So, but other than that, I mean, we could go into the second game. I mean, this next game. So, what do y'all? We might beat Minnesota, man. Minnesota ain't hard to beat. Josh Dobbs, he can get it too. What you got on this game, Rashad?
I had faith last week. That's why I said I love your faith, Steven. I need some of that right now, man. We gotta have somebody in the building.
It's on thin ice, pal. It's on thin
ice. Exactly. So we gotta have somebody in the building that's positive. But I think we lose this too. I don't believe in this coaching staff. I don't believe in Matt. I don't believe in
that was far from that.
Yeah,
Minnesota. We own Minnesota. Period.
So I don't think we win this week. I think the Rams come up in here and we make them look like the Kansas City Chiefs. So hey, it is what it is.
Dude, losing Rasul is like that back end is bad. Like it's like if
it's terrible.
If Jair's back is still hurting and he's not Jair, dude, they gonna have a field day. We gonna get torched unless we get pressure on the quarterback. Because Stafford will throw them to you. If we don't get no pressure, man.
And he might not, and Stafford might not even play. Stafford might not even play.
That's what I'm banking on.
I mean,
who's that backup?
I don't know, but even if Stafford plays, he's terrible. Like shit. Like
you got to get pressure on whoever quarterback that is that's gonna play. We got to get some pressure on them, man. What you got, Steve?
Yeah,
I think honestly, I'm gonna go for them again this weekend. I think they're gonna fix some things. I think they kind of. It's exactly what I said last game. It's driving me nuts. But defensively, we've always kind of had a good scheme against the Rams. We always have. True. Whoever they've had, I think the last time we played with Stafford, we had like 5 interceptions. Like we have always played very well against the Rams. Saying that. Like he said, my faith, like I said, it's on very thin ice for this one. I'm going to go with we're beating them, and I think it might hopefully spark something. Now down the road, my 5 games are like the Bears, even maybe the Bears, and a couple like Steelers. I think we can win, possibly. But this game, I'm going to go Pack. We'll see what happens. Ain't nothing new with pretty much what I said last game, but. I tell you what, we lose this game, and I do not have faith of over 5 games at all.
Yeah, they gonna have to prove it to me. I'm back on to prove me wrong again. So
yeah,
I hope, but nah, you got to prove me wrong. I don't think we gonna win. Eckler is crazy. Our boy can run all over you, and that connection with what's their quarterback name? Herbert and
no, Eckler, you thinking about the Chargers, you thinking about the Chargers.
Yeah, we ain't winning that game. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, we ain't winning that.
I was just my bad. I was just looking at the what's it called game. But the Rams, what's that receiver they got?
The rookie. What is his name?
We've been doing
Acuna, something like that.
Yeah, that's what
Nakua.
Yeah, him. Man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And Cooper's back too, so
yeah.
And Tutu Atwell has been showing pretty well too.
Yeah, I picked him up on fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
I got
been
a
doing
funny
cool.
story about Tutu though that I will share. That's pretty good.
What's
So
up?
actually, I'm gonna go to this game on Sunday. My family, me and my mom are huge Packer fans. My dad and my sister are huge Rams fans. And
Wow.
me and my sister went to the Monday night Rams game when they played last year, and we were front row Rams bench because my sister really wanted to, see them and stuff. And Tutu Atwell wouldn't get away from the heater. They have the big heaters on, and it was cold that night, and he wouldn't get away from the heater. So I yelled at him, and I was like, Tutu, that heater ain't gonna hug you back. And oh shit, I just got the big middle finger in the back, and we just kept riding him, and he was dropping the ball, and we were riding him all day. Like fans were like, "Go get next to the heater; it's helping you," and like all this stuff. And it was so funny because the linemen would be surrounding the heater, and you'd see him kind of sneak in, and he did not like that cold, bro. So it was. So that's my Ram story for that. But
that's funny. That's funny.
That Puka dude might not even play. They said so. That's cool for us.
Pikachu? Pikachu ain't gonna play.
They say he's not gonna. They say he might not play.
He said that Pika dude though.
Hey man, that made me. That gives me some whole hope because he's been killing. I don't know.
He's been killing, man.
He's been doing his thing. So I mean, if we could keep a little cup under contained little cup, so we can't let him get off.
He stay hurt. That's another one that stay hurt, man.
Yeah, so I mean, so I'm going with the Rams because I need Green Bay to prove me wrong. So I don't know what the score is going to be. So do y'all think we're going to get a touchdown in the first half?
I do. No, I think we will.
I love Steven's face, bro. I love it.
Yep, I think we will once Clifford steps in on Sunday. I'm kidding.
He said we should. Dallas shut him down. Easy work. Man, I don't know, man. It's like, why is it so hard that it came to this that you can't get no touchdown in the first half? It's not even the first quarter. Like I could see if we was talking about the first quarter, we talking about the first half. Like, it's been what 3 or 4 games that we ain't scored.
Yeah, we ain't scoring shit, man. Not with this coaching staff. Hell no.
It might come off a pick 6, man. Hey, Valentine, one of y'all times, y'all need to take it back to the house, man.
Yeah,
because Jair. Okay, so this game, I need to see if Jair is healthy. He needs to shut down whoever. I don't want to see him getting burnt. I don't want to see them. But it comes to the play call. If they gonna run zone, I don't put too much blame on Jair because he's just playing the space. He's just playing the area. He ain't playing the man. But if we playing man, I don't want to see Jair getting toasted. You know what I mean? And now that what's his name, Gary got paid, man, you better not disappear, man. You better keep on rushing that quarterback, man.
Yeah, for sure. And something to remember is the Rams' defensive backs aren't very good.
No, they're terrible. The Rams' defense is terrible, but we not gonna be able to block Donald. So
yeah, that's true. Dude.
So that's what I'm like, dude. Run some schemes. You're not gonna be able to hold down. Hey, before the huddle break, Love need to be like, Dobbs, you got the hot route. Like, so yeah, just make sure you know what route you're running before we break this huddle. Before you go line up, you running it out, you running a post or whatever, man. They need to be like, oh. But that's coaching though. That's still coaching.
Right.
So that's what it comes down to. These next 10 games, they said is very important. I don't think it's important just for Love. I think it's important for the coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but man, any words before we get up out of here, Rashad?
Hey man, go Pack, go regardless. Whether I was right on Love or not, I don't give a damn. We gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. I'm a Packer through and through. And like I said, man, hey, success does not happen overnight. So it is what it is.
Hey, Steve, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Like Rashad said, patience is key. It's been a long time since we've been in this boat, but I think they'll find a way out of it. And if not, we'll follow them through.
Where the game at? It's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay. Yeah, it's in Green Bay. We play them next year in LA. Finally.
Ooh, finally. I feel like it has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
But
it's been since 2018, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Go Pack, go, and with them forever.
Yeah, you know where to go. And Bears still suck. We up out of here.